Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me today to this new episode of Music with Nick. Today, we got a song sponsored by David. Thank you so much, David, for choosing this track and supporting the channel with what I think is a soundtrack or official soundtrack from a motion picture. And I've heard of this movie Somewhere in Time. And I think what's his name? Christopher. I think Christopher Reeve is in this movie, and everybody knows Christopher Reeve, of course. Yes, it is him. From 1980, Somewhere in Time, original motion picture soundtrack, and we're gonna do the song called "A Day Together." So I do have some notes here from David. We're going to read them. And it says here, John Barry from the movie soundtrack Somewhere in Time. The classical piece is A Day Together, so beautiful and perfectly composed and conducted by John Barry. So I think I've done some John Barry. I could be wrong. I've done some, film composers on the channel, but maybe not. I'll have to check. And it says you'll love it. I'm sure I will. And I just did one myself, dedicated to James Earl Jones. Unfortunately, he passed away a couple of days, less than 10 weeks ago. And I did some, I did a marathon on, film compositions from like sci-fi stuff. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit different, but yeah, let's focus on this one. Thank you so much, David, again, for sponsoring this. And without further ado, let's give John Barry a listen. I will check here real quick if I've done some before. Maybe. Aha, yes. One track. All right. So I did. I've done some John Barry, and I was for a second I was shocked because it said Somewhere in Time, but it's the first track of the album. It's actually the title track of the movie, Somewhere in Time. So, and I thought, oh no, I've already done it, but I've only done one track on the channel whatsoever, and it was Somewhere in Time. But A Day Together, I've not heard. So I'm super happy because for a moment there I was like, oh God, I've done it. I already reacted to this, but no, it's just the title track, Somewhere in Time. Okay. So yeah, like I said, let's go and check it out. A Day Together, John Barry, 1980. All right. Thank you again so much, David. Wow. They really know when to. Oh my god. That's it's just like the way these composers write, and they just know how to make it all work, and it just it's wonderful. And I do recognize a lot of films, not as much as I thought I would. um I guess this is from a different decade also. He started in the 60s. There's a lot of movies he scored. King Kong, I've never seen the 70s version, on top of the World Trade Center. That's crazy. The Chase with Marlon Brando. Then we got some um, Lone Ranger, Game of Death with Bruce Lee. Dances with Wolves, of course, I do know that one. Chaplin, wow, that's I saw that one once. When um, what's his name? I can't remember his name right now. I mean, obviously now he's one of the most well-known actors ever. What's his name? Uh, Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. because of Marvel and all that stuff. But yeah, I think I've seen The Specialist, Stallone and Sharon Stone. And here I see Gary Oldman with Demi Moore. I've not seen these movies. Out of Africa, never watched it. Body Heat, I think I've seen this. Isn't that a Brian De Palma? Yeah, I think so. But great movies, just like not the typical like I mean, I guess these were blockbusters, like James Bond, you know, and I mean, they were big movies, but what a composition! I love the strings, you know, the violin and the violas, and you know, below at the same time the cello, you know, giving it that bass. But then at the middle section, I love that piano, how the piano took over and played the theme, and then it went back into that romantic feel, you know, of the score. It's just so wonderful how they make these scores, and they're so effective to the film, you know, and also even when you don't watch the movie, they're super effective. It's just great. It's great music. It's wonderful. And but yeah, I'm sure, yeah, it's John Barry. It's just one of those, I guess, that everybody, I guess you guys all know John Barry, but I'm just more like, I guess I'm more familiar with, you know, John Williams, Alan Silvestri, those kind of guys, you know. I guess that's my, just, there's a lot of movies I haven't watched that are, you know, older, on the older side. But yeah, beautiful theme. There's even some Bruce Willis here, Mercury Rising. I guess he would take on a lot of stuff, you know, that is there's some action movies. There's, it's not very like the usual suspects that take on the big movies, like, you know, nowadays, like Hans Zimmer, like those are the directors that do Gladiator, and you know, and John Williams does, you know, the Indiana Jones, and I don't even know who scores like all the other, there's so much stuff that comes out nowadays that's all action and CGI, and I'm not particularly a fan of those movies, but some of them are good, you know. But yeah, what a great composer. What, and I'm sure there's not everything on here, you know, on Spotify. So, but yeah, this was a great track. Thank you so much again, David, for this wonderful tune. I'm certainly going to play it to Alexia, and I would love to watch the movie. I do recognize this actress. Who is this? So it's obviously I know Christopher Reeve from Superman, the old Superman movies. Let's see, Somewhere in Time. It's also my favorite. One of my favorite Iron Maiden albums is called Somewhere in Time. Let's see. Oh, Jane Seymour. I do know her, but I wouldn't recall from what. Let's see. I know her, I think, from shows nowadays. Let's see. What has she been in that I know? How old is she now? 73. Yeah. I think I know her from like stuff from the 90s or the 80s. Let's see. Something that could ring the bell. No. I guess that's, I mean, Somewhere in Time is like her big. Oh, and Amadeus? Seymour played the role of onstage of Constance. Oh no, in a play. Okay, she's not in the movie, not the Amadeus movie. Because I would have, I've seen that hundreds of times, so I definitely would have recognized her. Well, it's not so important. What was important was the beautiful music. Thank you again, David, for this great request. Wonderful, and I'm definitely going to show it to Alexia, like I promised. And thank you. Let me know what you think. Have you seen this movie? Did you see it in the theater in 1980 when it came out? Is it one of your favorites? All that good stuff. Leave it in the comment section. And yeah, please like the video if you're new to the channel. If you love this movie and you like the soundtrack, subscribe to the channel. There's a lot of other videos where we react to scores, or I react to scores. And yeah, let me know. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'll see you all in the next video.